guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back for another YouTube video. I'm really nervous about today's video, but I'm also really excited to kind of finally sit down and talk to you guys about some of my favourite purchases, some of my most expensive purchases of my life, things that I love, things that maybe I don't love so much, any advice I can give to any of you guys if you're thinking of purchasing a handbag or you want to splash the cash for your birthday or a little treat. I'm really excited about this video. No, I am. I'm intrigued to kind of get into it and talk to you guys about everything that I know. As you guys have seen from the title, today is my official handbag collection. This is a video that so many of you guys have actually asked me for over on Instagram in particular. I've always been really hesitant about doing this video just because I know some people are not into this kind of thing. They're not into designer handbags, they're not into spending money on handbags. It's just not their scene, which I totally respect. But I've obviously had a lot of you guys that are interested, and I feel like it is kind of a little bit of a common video on YouTube for people to kind of talk about maybe any advice they can give for people to help them if they're thinking of spending a little bit of money on a bag or something. So as you guys can see, I've got myself an apparel. I've got all of my handbags next to me. There's quite a lot here. Just before we get into it, if there's any handbag that you have seen on my Instagram or you've seen on me that isn't included in this video, it doesn't belong to me. So that means it belongs to my mum or my sister. They have kindly let me borrow the bag for either a trip or for an Instagram photo or something like that. Now, I could have included those bags, but I just did feel like that was a bit dishonest. I also kind of felt like I wouldn't be able to give you any knowledge or expert advice on the specific handbags because I didn't purchase them. So I've kept this solely to bags that are part of my collection. There's obviously a lot out there that I would be interested in purchasing, and I am really lucky that I live with my mum and my sister and we can share handbags, so we don't have to, like, you know, buy two of the same one, if you will. If you are new here, hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Georgia May. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you would like to subscribe, I would really appreciate that. There's a little bell down there as well if you want to be notified when I upload. And if you are a returning subscriber, then hello, I hope you're doing well and staying safe. I'm very excited to get into this, and I think that's enough rambling. I'm going to leave all my social medias below, including my Instagram, if you do want to go ahead and give me a follow. But that's enough. Let's just dive straight into the handbags. Okay guys, so I'm going to start out with one of my most recent handbag purchases. I actually am going to link a video in the description box where I speak about this bag in a little bit more depth. I think it's what I got for my birthday or something like that. If you want any specific advice on any particular bag, just drop me a comment. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. This is kind of a Marmite bag. I know a lot of people don't love it. I'm shocked at how much I've used this handbag. I have not stopped wearing this, guys. Like, I just never thought I'd get that much use out of a bum bag, but I use it on my shoulder, I use it on my back, like across, I use it as a crossbody, I use it as a bum bag. I have worn this so much, I can't even begin. I know this handbag is really hard to source. I was very lucky. I managed to get it in the airport in Heathrow when I was flying to Venice. So I didn't get any money off it or anything like that because I was flying in Europe, and you only get money off bags in Heathrow if you're flying outside of Europe. But they actually had one of these, and because I had purchased a bag maybe like a month or two earlier, I actually knew one of the sales assistants in there, and I think she actually helped me get the bag pretty much, because I don't know if they would have given it to me if they hadn't kind of seen me before. I don't know, you just kind of get that vibe sometimes. But if you are thinking of buying a bag, the people in Heathrow were so lovely and so nice, and they took so much time with me and they didn't rush me, and you know, it's a lot of money that you're spending. So I know sometimes people have bad experiences in these kind of places, but couldn't recommend the girls that work there more. Love this handbag. You have this front compartment here. There's a lot of stuff in there, let's not go into it. Then you also have a little secret hidden compartment on the back, which is super useful because it's really close to you. I am so shocked at how much I love this bag. The patina is obviously starting to age a little bit. I like it when it's nice and new, but that's kind of just what happens with these bags. The patina does start to age, but I just love it. I love it. Couldn't recommend this one enough. Let's stick with the Louis Vuitton theme. I'm actually going to show you guys a vintage Louis Vuitton bag that belonged to my mum. I know I said I wasn't including any handbags in this video that weren't mine, but she's actually gifted me these bags, which was very kind of her. So I guess they are kind of mine now. Thought I would include them in today's video, and I think this is a bag that they still do on the Louis website. I will link it below if there is. So as you guys can see, this is a lot more weathered, aged. It's just a lot older, so it's been around the block, you could say. I believe this is the Alma bag. Sorry if I'm getting anything wrong in this video. Sorry if that's offending anybody. I will do my best to link every single handbag that I mention if you are interested in knowing more information about it that I haven't given you. I adore this bag. My mum very kindly gave it to me. It was hers. My mum is very good. She keeps all the receipts and everything like that if ever, you know, she decided that she wanted to sell any of her bags. But instead of selling this one, she asked me if I wanted it, and I was like, oh my god, yes I do. I used to use this bag so much because I loved a really big bag, but if I'm honest, I don't use it as much anymore because it's just a little bit too big, and I feel like with a big handbag, once you start filling it up, you kind of don't stop. It's gorgeous. I think it's a classic. Obviously comes with the crossbody strap if that's something that you want, but also just to hold with the top handles, it's beautiful. This is obviously what the patina kind of looks like when it's really, really aged. It tends to go this kind of like really deep brown colour. But it's a gorgeous bag. Let's go on to a handbag that I absolutely adore, but I feel like I don't really use enough. This is my Mulberry. Now I think this is called a... I don't think it's called the Bayswater, because the Bayswater is like the kind of bigger old school version. I think this is kind of like a take on that. It's a little bit similar to me, I always think, the shape. A little bit like the Celine bags, which I always loved. This is in a taupe shade, I believe. I'm going to do my best to list this colour in the description box if I can. I love Mulberry. I'm a really big fan of Mulberry handbags. I feel like they're very classic. I feel like they go with a lot of my wardrobe. I like handbags most of the time to kind of, I want to be able to use them in like 10 years time and still love them, or pass them on to my daughter if ever I have one or something like that. So I adore this. It's one of my favourite handbags. I just don't feel like I use it enough. It's a really beautiful colour, as you guys can see, and it has a really big kind of zipper compartment, but it also has a really nice crossbody strap. Now, the only thing I'm going to talk about is because the crossbody strap has to go on these alternate kind of hooks, what it started to do, and I hate to say this, but it started to pull the bag at either side, and that started to affect the shape. So I don't know how well you guys can see, but it moves to one side. So I really need to kind of stuff this and try and move it back into its original shape. I think it's a really nice handbag. It's a really great size. I think this is in the medium size. I know they do a mini version of this, which I adore. I love it so, so much. But this is really practical, fits a lot in. I think it's really nice for the winter time. Quite a good transitional bag as well if you want to do it in autumn and spring. I do love this handbag, and I think it's a really nice classic shape that Mulberry do that I feel like doesn't really date. So next I'm going to do a handbag that I actually purchased in Bicester Village. If anybody knows, Bicester Village is an outlet centre in the UK where you can get discounted designer pieces. There's like Balenciaga there, there's a Chloe shop, there's obviously a Gucci store, and this is where I purchased this bag. I got this, I want to say 2 summers ago now, or 2 kind of like springs ago. I also purchased the matching purse, which I absolutely loved, and I used that to death. The problem was the purse was mostly canvas and it didn't really wear very well, and that's the first thing I'm going to say with any kind of canvas bags, is they're not going to wear as nicely because this fabric isn't kind of easy to sort of like remove any mark. To do this particular handbag, I think they still do it in Bicester. They did it in an outlet centre I was in the States, so maybe they still do it, maybe they've discontinued it. I know this particular handbag was made for the outlet, so Gucci didn't actually sell this handbag. It was specifically for the outlet, which some people don't really like, but I loved the handbag and I just kind of like to buy what I love. The one thing I will say is I really do like the Gucci canvas print. I think it's classic. I think it's something that doesn't really date and you recognise it instantly. I feel like I haven't used this bag enough. When I first got it I did, but I just don't really reach for it. The baby pink is beautiful, but it doesn't go with loads in my wardrobe, so I do struggle a little bit with this handbag. I don't think I would ever sell it because it has like good memories, sentimental value for me, but I don't think I use it enough. It's a really, really nice handbag, great size from Gucci. I have another Gucci bag which I believe is in the exact same size, and I really love this size handbag. So this is the Gucci Soho bag, and guys, this is one of my favourite bags in my whole collection. If you are thinking of making a designer purchase or a new bag purchase, this is something I would really recommend. I've also got another handbag that I'm really going to recommend if you're thinking of buying a designer handbag for the first time, but this is one that I 100% can say is great. I feel like the leather wears really, really nicely on this bag because it just doesn't look too kind of worn. But I have used this bag to every inch of its life. I honestly cannot even explain to you. So obviously it has the little tassel, it has the Gucci logo, the back is kind of plain, it has the adjustable crossbody strap. This is the perfect size for a crossbody. It fits so much in there. It's black, it goes with everything. I have worn this so much. It's my like go-to easy handbag. I'm always gonna have it. They do it in a really lovely red and also a nude shade. I know they also do sometimes do this bag in some other colours, but I believe they're limited edition, so slightly more difficult to get hold of. But this is one of my favourite handbags actually. I just feel like it's so wearable and it's such a good starter bag. It was one of my kind of earlier designer bags and I feel like it was a great buy because it just wears so nicely. This was actually a really nice gift, so I feel very lucky for owning this handbag and having it in my collection, and I genuinely really do love this one. So next up, I'm going to show you guys this bag. I think I have a video on this as well, which if I do, I will be sure to link it below. I absolutely adore this bag. I believe this is a relatively new design from Louis Vuitton. Like I said, I'll do my best to link everything in the description box. I simply love this. I think it's beautiful, but I haven't worn it as much as I thought I would. As you guys can see, the patina on this is pretty much brand new compared to it on some of my other Louis bags. This is honestly so brand new. It's in like perfect condition. So it has the two top handles and the little kind of luggage tag, which I love. You can actually get these monogrammed, which I think I will with this one because I think it's very cute. And then it obviously comes with the larger crossbody strap that looks like that. It kind of sits on my hip bone. I love it. It has 3 compartments. So it has the back compartment, the middle one which has a zipper, and then this one. These two just have a magnetic closure. And as you guys can see, the inside is a really nice kind of dark burgundy velour. Sorry about my nails, let's not talk about them. Yeah, I adore this handbag. It's at a great size. It looks gorgeous. I just haven't really used it and I need to, and that's something I'm going to do this year because it needs a little bit more wear out of it, but I do think it's beautiful. I would really recommend it if you're thinking of buying something from Louis. I do really like the Speedy, but my sister has that bag and it's kind of sunken over time and hasn't really kept its shape. I really like a handbag that keeps its structure and shape. I just feel like they tend to look a little bit newer for longer. So this is gorgeous. I love it. I cannot see myself ever selling it, so hopefully I won't, but I do need to use it a lot more than I have been. So just really quickly want to talk about a handbag that I get asked about so much, and it isn't a designer bag, but again it's one of my most used bags. I tend to not want to use a lot of my more expensive handbags on nights out because people are throwing drinks everywhere. There's tequila shots on the bar, I'm waving my handbag around, I'm putting it on the bar. I'm just not great when I've had a bit to drink with my bags, so I would rather use a maybe less expensive one, but I think this is gorgeous. So this was a Topshop bag. I don't believe they do it anymore. I'll see if I can link anything similar below because so many of you guys are interested in this handbag, and don't worry, you'll be the first to know if ever I choose to sell it. So it's not the most useful, as in you can't fit a lot in there really, but these sparkly kind of circular handles I think look great. It's a really nice black faux leather, wipes off really easily, you can spill whatever you want on there. Again, it has the crossbody, which is great for a night out. You can make this shorter, or you can take it off entirely and just have it as a little top handle bag. I love this, I wear it to death. Need I say anymore? It's black, it goes with everything, and it was a great buy. Topshop have some great handbags if ever you are looking at buying a bag for a night out or even just your everyday one. Topshop are a really good brand. Now I'm going to go on to what I would probably deem my best handbag purchase, and a purchase that I would recommend if you're thinking of buying a designer bag for the first time. This is the YSL college bag, and I adore this handbag so much. So when I bought this handbag, I bought it in Harrods in the YSL. The lady was lovely. Also with Harrods there's a points scheme, so if you spend a certain amount of money you kind of get points, and you can then use the points as cash, and it's quite a useful scheme. It has obviously the little top handle here, and you can remove this chain if you want, which I have done on a couple of occasions. I actually wore this bag to a PLT event and I took the long chain off and just wore it like that. I went for the one that is the kind of like gunmetal sort of silver. I love this bag. I think it's so practical, an amazing size, has a magnetic lift up kind of closure to it, but it has a zip in the middle of the bag. It also has a little secret place here where you can pop things. Guys, I've used it so much. I'm even tempted to, you know, repurchase this bag in a nude or a cream because I think it's so lovely, like cream with gold hardware. YSL are a brand that I think are kind of underhyped, but a really lovely brand. They're not extortionate, but I think their quality is really good, and they're a really nice designer brand. So if you haven't thought about it before, I really do love YSL. What I love about them is the simplicity. I feel like I'm still gonna love this bag in 10 years. It's black, it's classic, it's not got too much going on, it's not garish. This weathers incredibly well. It's kind of like a coated sort of leather. You can wipe whatever you want off of it. I love the bag. I love the bag. I can't rave about this bag enough. This is probably one of the, was this one of the more expensive bags I've ever bought? I think it was. And I remember when I purchased it and I put my card in the machine, I was like, whoa, I've never spent this much money on a handbag before. But I do think it was worth it, which makes me really happy to be able to say that now. The short amount of time I've had it, I have worn it so much, and I can just see myself wearing this so much more in years to come. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful handbag. YSL do some great ones. I will link other ones if you're interested in what other ones I love from the site, but I love this one. I'm really happy with it. I'm going to do another Louis Vuitton, which is another vintage one. I've actually seen a couple girls around with this handbag, so I don't know if they still do it. I don't think they do, but I love this handbag. As you guys can see, it's very worn. So the patina on this is really aged, really aged. It has obviously the longer cross body to it, and then it has obviously this bit here that you just lift up. Now, as much as I love this bag, the practicality of this bag is a 0. It is so, can you see how thin it is at the sides? If you have anything bulky, you cannot fit that in this bag, but I think it looks lovely. It's almost like a really lovely vintage Louis. It just sits really nicely on the side of your hip. I love it with like creams and whites. I think it looks gorgeous. And overall, I adore it. So even though the practicality of this is not necessarily the best, it's one of my favourite handbags. And I just think it's very, very special. So next I'm going to show you guys my Chloe bag. So this bag I do actually tend to keep in the dust bag. I actually tend to keep quite a few of these in their dust bag just because they don't wear very well outside of them. So I try my best to kind of keep them in obviously really good condition. If ever I want to sell anything, I keep all of my receipts, all of my boxes, all of my bags, I keep them underneath the bed. And I would really recommend, if you're going to buy a bag, to do that. If you do ever want to sell it, or you need to sell your handbags, you have all of the receipts and all of that good stuff in case you ever wanted to. This is the only Chloe handbag that I own, but it's one of my favorites, and I love this bag so much. I think this is going to be such a good summer bag. So it looks like this. It has the longer strap here. I really am into these kind of chunky longer straps. It's almost like a kind of peachy salmony colour, and then it has this gold metal and hardware. Again, it has the shorter strap here, which means you can actually take this off and just have it as a shoulder bag. I've actually done that before. I've worn it just by itself, and it is very cute. It has the big kind of gold clasp here, and then you lift it up and there is the bag, and then there's also a little front pocket. It's not the biggest, it's not the roomiest, but I think it's a really nice summer bag, because you shouldn't have too much in your handbag anyway, really, should you? And it's a really nice evening bag. It goes with so much in my wardrobe, a lot of my neutral outfits and whites and things like that. It is one of my favourites. I do really love it, and I actually do really like quite a few of the Chloe bags. Some of them I'm not into, but some of them I do really love. I'm a bit kind of torn, but I do like them as a designer, and I think they're another really nice one, a little bit like YSL, but slightly more girly and feminine if that's your style. And I think this is lovely actually. It goes really nicely with this lemon jumper that I've got on right now, and I'm excited to get a little bit of wear out of this going into the summer, if we can go outside. Next up, I have this bag, which she actually was gonna sell super recently, and I was like, do you know what? I kind of love that. It is like one of those little kind of shoulder bags, so definitely that sort of 90s era vibe, but I thought it was really cute, and like really just, it looked to me in really good condition. So again, it has the kind of Gucci canvas, similar to the one that I showed you at the start, earlier on, the one that I got from Bista. And then it is basically just a super kind of long zip with an inside, so it's quite a simple kind of fastening and stuff, but I really did love this. I thought it was really cute. Again, I haven't really worn this too much, but hopefully I will. It goes really well with the 90s kind of ponytail I've got going on today. And I do think it's very, very sweet. So fingers crossed I'll get a chance to wear this in the evening or something, because it is a really, really lovely handbag. It's just not something that I reached for. I am super interested though in the Louis Vuitton pochette. I hope that's right. I don't know if it's the pochette Matisse or just the pochette. It's basically a very similar style of handbag on a very thin chain, and it's kind of long, but I really love that for the evening. I just think that would be a really, really nice evening bag, but I actually really do like this. I need to wear it out. Next one that I have is actually a Rebecca Minkoff bag, and this is another brand that I really wanted to recommend to you guys if you're wanting to spend a little bit more money but maybe not get into kind of like the really silly money on a handbag. This is a brand that I love. So I bought this handbag a while ago now, like maybe like 6 years ago now, from a Saks that sold Rebecca Minkoff, I want to say, or a Bloomingdale's, was it? I think it was a Saks actually. The colour of this handbag is the reason why I'll never sell it. I don't have anything in this colour. I've never seen a handbag in this colour, and I just love it. It has all of this kind of quilting design here, has a silver kind of clasp that you just lift open like that, and then it just is one kind of big compartment, and then it has a little secret hidden one on the back, and just like quite a hefty kind of silver chain. The quality of this is so lovely. Like, I honestly couldn't rave about it enough. I feel like it's really, really nice quality. It's always worn very well. It's a really nice shape. It fits a lot in. I personally love this. I know it does look a little bit similar to maybe like a River Island bag or something. I don't think it does. I think it does look really lovely, but yeah, I just think it's a really nice brand if you're interested in trying something that's a little bit, you know, more designery but maybe not silly money. I think this is a really nice option. Okay, and lastly, I'm actually going to do this bag that I just adore, and I have 100% got my cost per wear from, if you will, and that is this Mulberry Lilly bag. So this has actually been around the block, as in I feel like it's really been worn in, and the only thing I'm a bit upset about is the discoloration on the clasp. So you guys probably can't see, but it's kind of gone a little bit silver, which is kind of annoying. It's gone really silver actually. Maybe they could do something about that. I don't know. I've had this bag for quite a while. How long have I had this bag now? Let me just get this straight right. 4 years? 4 or 5 years, I want to say. Yeah, this is in the smaller size. They do it in a bigger size. I love this. The colour is rose, I believe. I will do my best to link it below. The fine chain on this I think is so pretty. The size is lovely. You can obviously wear it like this on the shorter chain, or you can have it longer and wear it as a crossbody. I am looking into maybe purchasing this in a larger size, just for the sheer fact of how much I have worn this bag. Nights out, evenings out. I think it's like summer and winter appropriate because it goes really nicely in the evenings. I just think it's great. I love it so much. I'm so shocked at how much I love the gold. I adore this handbag. I cannot rave about it enough. It's one of my favourite handbags, and probably not as expensive as some of the others, but that's not what it's about. You know, it's about how much you love it and wear it, and this is 100% up there for me. It's just so simple and classic, and the colour is so lovely. Definitely needs a little bit of TLC. I haven't reached for it a lot lately just because I haven't really gone anywhere nice in the evening to use this handbag, but I absolutely love it, and I think Mulberry are another handbag designer that I just love. Okay guys, so that is it for my collection, I believe. Like I said, if anything's not included that you thought would be, it doesn't belong to me, it belongs to my sister or my mum, so I thought I would keep this purely to bags that I've purchased or I have in my collection. I did ask you guys on Instagram if you had any questions, and I am just going to whiz through them really quickly now to see if there's anything that I haven't spoken about. Someone said, what is your favourite handbag brand? I really love Louis, but I do struggle sometimes with matching my wardrobe to their bags, just because the monogram is such a statement, and obviously it's a brown colour, which, you know, if you maybe have a lot of black in your wardrobe or something, it's quite difficult to kind of manipulate that sometimes into my outfits. So if not them, I would go for a brand maybe like YSL or Chloe. I would love to be able to buy from maybe the more designer brands like Chanel or Dior, but they are just that little bit more expensive and yeah, unattainable for me right now. I'm gonna put saving tips to be able to buy nice luxuries. I am in a really lucky position in that I don't have bills to pay because I don't own my own property. So, you know, that obviously is more of a priority to some people. I am saving to move out, but it's gonna take me a little bit of a while. Little things really make the difference. So instead of going out for coffee, like have a coffee at home, save that money, put it in a savings account. I have a lot of different accounts for different things, but one of the accounts I have is a savings account for maybe things I want to purchase as a treat to myself. I get that handbags and things like that are not everyone's cup of tea and they don't get the point in them or spending that money in them, and I respect that. But if that's something that you want to do, then you kind of need to fit that into your budgeting and put aside some money each month that you'll eventually be able to save up to buy yourself a nice bag. Sophie Show Hat has a whole video on this, so I'll be sure to link that one below. If you are interested in particular kind of like money saving tips, it's a really good video. I'm gonna put next bag on your wish list. This is really difficult because I'm not the most like thoughtful with bags. So one of my Louis bags that I showed you guys earlier, this one, I'd actually never seen it before until I saw it in the store and fell in love with it instantly. So not everything is something that I have kind of pre-planned, which I guess you should be a little bit more like that, maybe, but I'm not always. I'm quite impulsive sometimes, and sometimes I like to just buy what I love in the moment, you know, that's the excitement of it. But a bag that I would like die to have is a Chanel Trendy in a nude cream, a light colour, which sounds ridiculous because it's so impractical, but I just think that bag is beautiful. So yeah. Someone put, do you ever get nervous going into a designer store? No, I don't really. I also think if they're going to be really rude to me, like I will just take my business elsewhere. There's a lot of concessions in like Selfridges and Harrods. So if you find that someone in a particular store isn't being overly friendly, then maybe try a concession in a larger store. They can sometimes be a little bit nicer. I've definitely met some people before that haven't been very friendly, but then I've met some that have been really nice. So it's kind of just like finding someone that you really like. It also respects the fact that this is a lot of money that you're spending, so you don't want them to just be like kind of frivolously talking about it. Like it's, you know, it's a big purchase for a lot of people, so you don't want to be buying something from someone that makes you feel really like insignificant. When I purchased one of my Louis bags, the girl was actually really nice. She got me and my sister a glass of champagne and was just like really kind and gave us little like Louis perfume samples. So there are some nice sales assistants out there. They're not all horrible. Someone said, how did I choose my first designer handbag? There are so many to choose from. Yes, it's quite overwhelming when you're thinking of, you know, buying a nice bag for yourself. Where do I go? What do I do? The first thing I would say is look at brands and figure out what brand you want to purchase from. Is there a particular brand that suits your style, that you really like a lot of their designs, you like a lot of their handbags, do you feel like it's going to last you? That's the only thing with my bum bag that I truly love and I've worn so much, but it probably isn't the most classic bag in the world versus something that's maybe like black, a really nice shape, really simple, really structured. Those are probably going to be bags that will last me a lot longer. So those are a couple of things I'd figure out in my own head. I'd also figure out like colour wise what you want to go for. For me it was black because I just knew that that was easy to wear. It's not going to look really scruffy after a while and was going to go with a lot in my wardrobe, and also it's great for the evening. Like black just always looks good. So that was kind of how I figured out what bag I wanted to purchase and how I ended up purchasing the YSL college bag. I have never bought any handbags second hand. I've been asked this quite a few times on here, and that's something I would be really selective about. I actually watched a video on a girl's YouTube channel about super fakes and how they're manufactured. I'm gonna actually leave that video in the description box, and I do feel like it makes it definitely a lot more difficult when you're buying a handbag online. I would say buy it from maybe one of those sites where they have someone who authenticates the bag, but even that I've heard horror stories from, so you just have to be very careful and kind of think, is this a little bit too good to be true? Because maybe it kind of is a little bit too good to be true. I said, do you regret spending money on handbags? Do you feel that it's money that could be better spent? Now this is something that I feel like a lot of people maybe feel like, which is totally fine. Like if that's how you feel, that's fine. But I also kind of feel it's my money, I've saved it up, it's what I want to spend my money on, and it's like not affecting anybody else. So I don't really feel like it probably is better spent. It would be better spent on saving for a deposit on a house. I'm fully aware of that, guys. But it's also treats, and it reminds me of sentimental times, or it is markers in my life of maybe things I've achieved, and that's why I've got a handbag or whatever it might be, which to some people is going to sound so silly, but to me it's not as simple as like just a bag. So yeah, I don't regret it. It brings me so much joy and happiness, and I'm a handbag lover. So for someone like me, it's something that I like to spend my money on, but I appreciate that it's not everybody's thing. Okay, so hopefully I've answered most of you guys' questions. If there's any specific questions you have about anything that I've shown you guys, please feel free to comment below. I've shown you pretty much everything that I currently have in my collection. I hope I've not left anything out. I don't believe I have, because any other handbags don't actually belong to me. They belong to somebody else in my family. And I wanted to talk to you guys about bags that I have enough knowledge about and I just feel like are mine. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, hopefully I answered all of your questions. Feel free to leave any comments that you have below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you all found this interesting in some way, and if it's not for you, I appreciate that. This is not my usual content. I have a lot of other kind of high street style hauls and stuff like that on my channel that you can go and check out. Thank you so much for watching as always. I love you guys. I hope you're all staying safe, and I will check in with you all in my next video. Bye guys.